Cheney School has been part of the life and education of Oxford since 1797. The school's success is built on traditional values as well as progressive thinking. So we have a proven track record of helping schools to save money by just basically finding energy waste across their site. So we look at the energy data and we say, does this match the operation of the school? Does this match the timings when the school is open? Does this match the external temperature? And we look at the data and we find areas where perhaps it doesn't match, and therefore, is this needless consumption? Is it waste? And then we can address it and cut costs.
Our latest analytics platform, StarkID, is both intuitive and powerful and is used by a variety of different people within the industry, from staff at schools, students, teachers, facilities managers, all kinds of different people who need access to the data to understand what is going on at their site.
It was quite easy to pick Stark because we needed someone who was a great data collector. Obviously, data quality is excellent at Stark. We wanted to have on-demand data, so StarkID gave us a brilliant portal where we have the data straight away, look at it the next day, see what happened overnight. We needed someone who could collect multi-utilities, so we wanted the gas on there as well. Stark have loaded in historical data for us so we can compare straight away against what happened in previous years. To get the energy costs down, we decided that we'd start off with a complete switch off overnight of everything that was possibly able to be switched off. Simple thing, turn everything off at night, and then lots of things didn't come back on the next day because they weren't used. So the key thing obviously about reducing overnight consumption was that it actually then reduced daytime consumption. So from year one, we actually got an overall consumption reduction on electricity of 11%, and in the second year of the project, that went up to 18%. So understanding the baseline of the school was really important. Obviously, because we had interval data and we had historic data on StarkID, I could just download that straight away. And what we did was we had a look and saw how low it had got previously. So we didn't use national benchmarks, we just used the school's own best practice. It was also found that the gas usage did not meet the expected operational hours of the school. There was one example where the heating was on constant during the whole Christmas holidays and had been this way for the previous 5 years. After looking at the gas data for the whole year, we identified that 32% of gas consumption was waste. This was costing the school over £14,000. We identified that the total cost for Cheney School of waste across both utilities was nearly £32,000, which is a staggering 25% of their total cost. So the first project was the submetering, and as I mentioned, this was paid for out of the savings from the year one of the project. So after addressing all of the unexpected patterns of consumption, Cheney School needed greater visibility on a building by building basis to look for issues in more specific detail. By installing Stark's proposed submetering solution, we could easily measure the impact and equipment throughout the school on Stark's energy analytics platform, StarkID.
So as part of a submetering project, we initially start by visiting the site. Our SDS engineers, so Stark Technical Services, came to Cheney School and they surveyed the entire site with the requirements in mind of what the school needed.
Once we had submetering, it really meant we could pinpoint overnight consumption across all of the 8 buildings and different academic departments, and we could then get much greater visibility and granularity, and from that, in our second year, our savings overnight were 30%, so submetering was a massive key for that. Things that would come up is you'd get a call saying something's been left on in a particular building, and we were able then to go round and check what it was that was the problem. That's what really helped us keep it down lower. I can set up reports to be sent to other people at the school, so other members of staff, and it's really easy for them to interpret. They haven't been on a training course, they haven't had to read a manual. They go straight away, look at a report, consumption's up, what are we going to do about it? When did that happen? Because we have the sub-meters as well, we can do league tables, so StarkID, we've got a number of league table reports on there, so we can straight away pinpoint where is it across the site where consumption was highest when we didn't expect it to be. StarkID is fantastic. So first of all, we could put in things like the operation hours of the school, we could put in the population, floor areas, that kind of thing. We could put in the location, so we could straight away link to the local weather station. That has been fantastic for doing the gas analysis. So with the gas, what we've been able to do, the school have actually at the same time trying to reduce overnight consumption, been increasing the lettings, which obviously brings in a income stream for the school. So now what we can do is really make sure that the operational settings for the heating do align to the letting schedule. And obviously if there's the lettings for a sports activity, they do not need the heating on often, so that kind of thing. So you can make sure that that is adjusted regularly to match the lettings and any extracurricular school activities as well. To reduce electricity, schools often think they need to pay for expensive projects, put in LED lighting, for example. However, by going back to basics first and checking that all their existing lights and equipment that should be off actually is off, then you can generate 15 to 20% savings, often for no outlay at all. And then those savings can be used to fund the next stage of projects, such as the Cheney School has successfully done.